Hello, and welcome to today's Zoom session with Craig. With the fall fast approaching and bills set to come out on August 1st, many of you are probably exploring your options for financing to cover that gap between your aid offers and the costs that you're going to see here when you come to Penn State. So I'm going to take some time today to share some resources that we have on our website to help you kind of make the decisions about what financing is going to be best for you. So here we are at psu.edu. Over here, if we click on the Costs and Aid tab, you can find any information that you need about financial aid on this page. So over here on the left column, underneath how aid works, down at the very bottom link, we're going to click on Loans. Lots of good information here, along with a good video kind of going about showing you how to set up a budget, which is very important for students to learn. Some of the resources we're going to talk about down here at the bottom. We do have a nice worksheet. We're going to show you how that works. There's a nice application here through FIA about my smart borrowing, and then also a nice loan payment calculator if you want to get some estimated ideas of what your monthly payments might look like for your borrowing. Okay. Scroll down to the bottom here, we can see all the different types of loans that are available. Just want to hit on these very quickly. As far as university loans go, we do not offer university loans to all students. Those are only specifically for students that have exhausted all other options. Maybe they're in the last semester, maybe final year, and they are not something that students can apply to. They're awarded in special situations. All students that file the FAFSA will have access to either a subsidized and unsubsidized loan, or possibly only in unsubsidized loans. But keep in mind, for first year students, that's only a total of $5,500. Graduate plus loans or for graduate students, we do have the Parent Plus loan option. That would be a loan in the parent's name. That would be applied at the studentaid.gov site. And then we have private education loans, or what we call alternative loans. That would be at any lender. Big difference there is the loan is going to be in the student's name with a credit-worthy cosigner. Again, we can't really recommend any specific lenders. There's tons of them out there. You can go with a local bank, local credit union. Penn State really doesn't care where the money comes from. We want you to try to shop and get the best interest rate that you can get for the student. If you want to really spend some time digging into the differences between the federal and private loan options, there's lots of information here on this link. Okay, I'll give you the abbreviated version and then we'll talk about this loan worksheet here today. Parent Plus loan is much quicker loan process, much easier to qualify for, also much more flexible. The bad news, I guess, about the Parent Plus loan is twofold. Number one, it really doesn't look at your credit, your income, your debt to income ratio. It only looks at, bankruptcies, delinquencies, and student loans in default. If none of those things are true, you're probably going to qualify for as much as you need. But everybody pays the same interest rate, and this year that interest rate is 9.08%. With the private loans, again, it's in the student's name, not the parent's name. Does require typically a credit-worthy cosigner. Interest rates can vary very much depending upon the credit of the cosigner, and it's much more like a typical loan where you are going to see, a credit check, debt to income ratio, all of those other factors. So those are kind of the two options that you have as far as any kind of loans above and beyond, again, those direct student loans that the students are going to get for having that FAFSA filed. So again, up here we have this My Smart Borrowing, which is a tool featured by FIA that can be very helpful and useful for the students to make sure they're not borrowing more money than what they probably should be based upon their career and their potential income, and the loan payment calculator to help you get an idea of what loan payments might look like. But over here on the far left, this Office of Student Aid Loan Worksheet can be very helpful. Now, as I said, the bill is going to come out August 1st. We actually suggest that you wait until you see that bill come out before you start applying for these loans. The applications for both the private and the Parent Plus loan is not going to open until usually early to mid-July. But if you wait until the bill comes out August 1st, now you know exactly what you need to borrow and you're not going to borrow too much. What I mean by that is that you can always borrow one of two ways, either the maximum amount, which will give you up to the student's full cost of attendance minus their other aid, or you can apply for a specific amount. The problem with borrowing the maximum is that that cost of attendance always includes about $5,000 to $7,000 roughly in extra costs. They're going to be way more than what you actually need to pay the bill. Now, if you need extra expenses for the student to pay for books and some other things, it's okay to borrow a little bit more than what you need, but you're probably not going to need $5,000 or $6,000 or $7,000. So we're trying to help you, borrow as little as you can to kind of be as smart about it as possible. So again, wait till that bill comes out. Now you know exactly what you need. Keep in mind that the bill is going to be for just the fall semester. You can apply for a semester at a time if you'd like, but we suggest you apply for a full year loan because then you're going to cover full entire academic year with just one loan. That loan is going to be split equally between the fall and the spring. Now, another thing that's kind of a negative about the Parent Plus loan is it does come with, as I said, the 9.08% interest rate, but it also comes with an origination fee of over 4%. It's 4.228%, I believe. So that means if you borrow, $20,000 for the year, and that's what your bill is going to be, you're actually going to be almost $900 short. And I'll show you why that is. This worksheet really helps you make sure. So what happens, a lot of people that borrow for the Parent Plus loan, they put in that exact amount they need. They forget about that origination fee. The loan comes in, doesn't cover the bill because it's short by whatever that origination fee amount is. And everybody's like, wait a minute, we borrowed money. What happened? Well, again, that origination fee can easily be forgot about. So this worksheet will help you not be in that situation. All right, so lots of different ways we can use this. You can see it can be used for both the plus loan and the private loan. Right now on the toggle switch here, it is on plus. So you can see that 4.228% origination fee that I mentioned. If we click over to private, it does drop to 0 because most private loans do have no origination fee, although some will. That's up to the lender. Okay, so we're going to focus on that plus loan. That's probably one of the more popular loans that we see parents taking out. So first thing you'll notice is that here underneath the total aid, we do have the $5,500. Again, the reason why that's in there is because every student that files a FAFSA first year is going to be guaranteed that $5,500 in direct loans. Now, the bad thing about this worksheet is it takes in the consideration the origination fee for the plus loan, but those direct loans also come with an origination fee of a little over 1%. So if you're going to factor that into your aid and your loan amount, you really have to take $55 off of this $5,500 in order to make it be accurate. So just something to keep in mind. So if you're going to factor that in there, I would take this down to $54.45. That way we factor in that $55 that you're going to see for the origination fee on that loan. And then let's say we have a total charges of $30,000 that we need to cover the full year. So we can enter that amount here. If you know that there's a certain amount that you would like to pay out of pocket, or you have a 529 plan that you're going to use for some of it, you can include that in this spot here. And then you can see down here below, by typing that amount in there, it tells you that that origination fee, that 4.228%, is actually going to be over $1,000. So if you take 30,000 minus 54.45, it's 24,555. But you can see the amount down here is much higher than that because we have to add on that loan fee to make sure that it covers the full balance. Okay, so better way to do this is when you see your aid factored in for the direct loans, it'll show you exactly how much that's going to be towards your balance. So take that out of there completely, make that amount 0. And now we can see that again, if I need $30,000 after I've considered all my other aid sources, my origination fee is going to actually be $1,324 now. So the loan that I need to apply for is $31,324. We also have this planning tool down here at the bottom where you can figure out if you want to try to save some up to help add to the total, you can do that. So lots of nice features to this. And again, if you want to try to do it for a private loan, it'll automatically switch back to 0. But keep in mind, again, your lender may or may not have an origination fee. So you'd have to talk with them and see. All right. Hopefully this will help you make those decisions about financing a little bit easier. Make sure that you don't find yourself in a situation where you end up being short on that Parent Plus loan if that's the route you choose to go. And again, don't forget about some of these other tools that we have back here for you as well. If you have any questions, we are certainly here in the office. You can reach out to us by phone or by virtual or in-person appointments. We're here to help you out and try to make the process as easy for you as possible. All right. Thanks for joining me today. And until next time, we are Penn State Office of Student Aid.